It is Friday. We have made it through our first week of school, and I think overall it's gone really well. So we're going to go in, we're going to do Bible and run through our day, check off the things in their notebook, get our basic studies done, have lunch, and I think this afternoon we're going to go outside because it is like 50 something degrees right now. It is so beautiful. It feels like fall, which is so exciting. So I think we are going to kind of adjust our original planned science activity. We're going to get outside today and we're going to do some fun nature exploring because it is just too pretty outside not to. And then I need to work a little bit today and figure out kind of I like to kind of get going into it for a little bit to see how it's working for us, but we need to sit down and I need to do some figuring when it comes to my kind of like schedule and rhythm. So we're going to work on that today too, because I have a lot of tasks that need my attention and focus, and I think I need to kind of straighten some stuff out so that I'm actually spending time on everything. So off to Bible, finishing my coffee, and then we're going to do some fun stuff today because it is gorgeous outside. I love this time of year, so should be a good one. So what happened? Well, we were doing Bible, we looked out our door and saw what?
Chickens.
Chickens on the loose.
Edna and Jesse.
Right now we're kind of keeping them up close to the house, but they get out a lot. Look, if they want back in, they get out and then they're like, dang it, put me back in.
Hi, Ed. Ah,
Lily, you dropped her again.
haha.
Ooh, you got the hard one.
I have Mrs. Kane in the butt. Jesse.
Yeah, Jessie
And
likes
Edna.
it.
Yeah.
All right, throw them in so we can go get school done. Come on, please, kindly. All right, stay put, chickies.
This is how they get out. Wow.
They go under that. That's where they're getting out.
And they're, I think, jumping on, like they're going on.
Yeah.
They're going on the tree. And then they're jumping out. And they're probably jumping on the hose.
Yeah.
Jumping out.
All right, let's go try to get some school done. You love school so much?
Yep. Math is one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard, yeah. But
You girls be good.
hey, girls. Good girls. Oh. Sounds like it. See, I told you to do the one. How many are there? I know. How many?
Let her do it. Let her do it, sweetheart. You doing pretty good, Gigi? You up from your nap? Not very impressed. we have done all of our morning stuff. Now we're going into our 2 different, 30-minute blocks where the kids go through everything on their checklist. Lily is going to do her first spelling test, which I think she is going to ace the first time because just her little practice test she had earlier this week, she was like good to go. So excited for her to do that. I don't know if you can see, but see that? I usually do about a load of laundry a day and then a load of towels every other day. And that day was yesterday. And so it's all back there and needs to be dealt with. And I'm feeling, I like to kind of get going with our week because I would rather kind of base our rhythm and our schedule off of kind of what we're already doing. So that way, instead of being like creating a schedule and going, this is what we're going to do, and it working against what we're kind of naturally feeling comfortable doing, I like to kind of get going a little bit with our school to see. All the dogs are circling around me. I feel like there's sharks everywhere or something. Guys, go sit down. Sorry. Anyways, I like to kind of get going with our school to see how everything is going for us, and then kind of sit down and figure out, kind of what that schedule and rhythm is, what's working, what isn't working, and then figure out how I need to fit in all the other things, like keeping up on laundry. And today is Friday, the end of a great week. I want to finish it up, clean up the house a little bit, prepare for Sabbath tomorrow to have some things done. So I just want to sit down today and kind of figure out what that schedule is going to be. I know I shared a little bit in a video before about how I try things out. Thank you, that was nice. How I try to schedule things out so that I'm getting all of the things done between business and ministry and school and everything else. Yes, hello. We need lots of love today. So we are going to do that process today. Once the kids and animals anyways are good and set. So we'll go finish up school, and then I will take a couple of minutes to sit down and try to put some of this together so that way I can feel a little more put together with all the things that I'm trying to accomplish anyways. You want to go play? You just need some snuggles. You make it hard to get stuff done. What's that? You're looking at all the plants, huh? Here. I don't know if you guys do it too, but I feel like we can never do school like in the same spot all day long. And I try to mix it up, kind of like how I balance when I'm planning out wedding receptions and stuff.
Today is my
But it's like they need a little bit of an activity where they're doing it all together, but then they need a little time after that where they're kind of doing one-on-one stuff. And then they're kind of ready after that to come back and do stuff together again. But I feel like if I try to do all of the together stuff at one time, that's when they start to get rambunctious or a little much with one another. So having that where we start off the day all together doing Bible. Then we take a break. Virginia, the littlest, she's in the dining room at the table doing something. Our oldest, the teenager, she's on the computer, but she does different things. And then Travis, the teen, he's off in his room doing his independent reading, while Lily and I curl up on the couch together and do her lesson. But then we switch and we rotate it. Travis usually comes into the living room with me and does stuff. Lily goes in and does her own thing. We just kind of like rotate it around. So we start off all together, then we do independent. Everybody kind of goes to a different area where they feel comfortable. The couch, bedroom, at the dining room table. And then later this afternoon, we all come back together and do our elective. Today we're going to do that outside, especially going into fall when it's... Virginia's growling, do you hear?
Yeah.
I guess she's not doing so well. In the fall, especially when it's really nice, we love to go outside. We'll read outside, do our lessons outside, but I don't know. We all like to kind of move around and go wherever we're comfortable.
Ooh.
That's attractive. But just kind of split it up. So if you are homeschooling multiple kids and you notice them getting either too rambunctious or a little testy with one another, maybe try splitting it up. Do some together time with a break of independent time, and then later in the day, come back and do some group time together. Did you not sleep well last night? Not so much? You're making me tired. Now we're going to fall asleep on the couch and get nothing done.
I really just feel...
Okay, we're going to go do your lesson before you fall asleep.
My cat is on the back of the couch. Hey, Lucy. Bye, Lucy.
We are going to go on a walk around the property. Uh-oh. It's running down the hill. We are going to go on a walk around the property, and we are going to see what trees and bushes we can identify. What's the app called that we're going to use, hun? There's an app my husband found. I'm sure there's a bunch of them. Plant Snap that he's downloaded on his phone. So we're going to go around the property, and we're going to see how many different trees we can identify. Hey, kids! Kids, what are we getting ready to do?
We're gonna go. Look at me. Well, I need to put a sprinkle like you do with the your dolls and the doll carrier or whatever.
You can find leaves over there?
Yeah, let's go.
Alright, let's go find a tree. Although we've walked past like 20.
Sorry, Dad. I was gonna try to stop.
Alright, are you on the app? On Dad's phone?
Oh,
Come here.
No, I forgot I had that.
Let's see what this tree is. Okay, girls, we're gonna see what this one is. So Trav's gonna take a picture of it with the app.
I'm gonna go on.
Did I say plant?
Yeah. Plant Snap. Gigi, come here, let's see what this one is. Zoom in on what it is. What kind of tree do you guys think this is? Any guesses?
Oak tree.
An oak tree, maybe? Is that what you guess this one up here is? It is, what does it say? Yellow poplar. So this is a yellow poplar tree.
Good morning.
No,
Those leaves
I think
fell
that's
off.
what the leaves.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So, yellow poplar, that's what this one is. See?
That's what all these other ones too are.
So all the ones with this leaf are a yellow poplar tree.
Oh, I know a tree we can try out.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that looks
because the
right.
flower. Remember those flowers
Oh
that
yeah,
go,
they
come
do
on
have
top
those
of this
flowers
tree?
that come
Yeah,
on
that
them.
is
We've
it.
always wondered, those are so
So
cool.
it's
They
a
almost
yellow
look like
poplar.
cymbidium orchids.
Yeah.
Yellow poplar. That's cool. Can you guys see the differences between, let me move over so we can see it on here. Can you see the differences between these two leaves?
Well, one that's a darker green.
Yeah.
One that's a darker green, and two is it has little pointy.
Yeah, so we've got different color. Here, let's see if I can put it over here so we can get it.
Different, like, shape.
So we've got different colors, different shapes. So these two trees are different. So we know this one's the yellow sycamore. Now let's see what this one
And
is.
look at its bark though.
No,
Isn't
yellow
the same
poplar.
color?
Or yellow poplar, sorry. So let's see what this one is now, okay? Where's the, are you gonna do it?
Same as the bark.
And the bark's different, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, look. See how it's all black and everything?
Yeah.
I mean, it does
I love
get a
this
bit
tree,
white
it's
once you
so
get up
big.
top, but it's mainly black.
Yeah, a darker bark.
Yeah. But it
Okay.
does look like
Travis, I'm the high ground.
you have the slightly higher ground.
Yeah.
I have the high ground.
I hope it. You know what? I don't know if it's gonna.
Too dark? Okay, we'll
No,
come over here
I
and try
don't
it.
want it to pick up any.
Okay, so now we've got Norway maple and yellow poplar. So yellow poplar over there, Norway maple up here.
Hey, Mom.
Isn't that
I wanna
cool? We've
see
got
what
two
this
totally
one
different
is.
ones. Let me see. Where'd you get that one from? Is that the tree by the other side of the house?
It's by the wood area where
Okay.
the woods start to
try
build up.
this?
Some smaller trees.
Look at mine walk.
When I
Here,
used to play-
Jen, let's find some more leaves and see if we can find out what other trees we have. That's a rock.
I know.
That's not gonna pick it up, sweetie.
All right, let's go out to the lower field and see what we can find out here. Okay?
I want to try this though.
You want to try? Yeah, we'll try that. We'll try that one too.
But you have the fun and it's a heart shape.
It is a
Let me
heart
guess,
shape.
it's called a heart bloom.
A heart bloom.
Yeah, I think it's a
Y'all coming?
You don't know if the tree's called a heart bloom.
All right, let's go out here to the lower field and see what we can find. How you doing, Oz? Oz Bunny.
Oh, you got me. I'm a rebel.
Oz Bunny. Can I see you?
I'm a rebel.
See, baby carrier. It's the only way to get anything done when you have a bunch of kiddos. Come on, kiddos.
Mom?
We got all kinds of stuff over here. Look, there's a few different ones there. Back here, buried in this, are supposed to be apple trees, although we've never really seen them come to much since we've been here. You want to try all those? Don't stop here. Hold on. Let me come over there with the thing.
Hey, Mom, are those the edible berries?
No, those are not edible berries.
Look at the red.
I know. Aren't they cool looking?
That's a
Are
pink.
they poisonous?
Yes. So let's, here, watch. We'll look them up and you guys can see the different kinds. Let's go to Plant Snap. So basically our time here in our lower field, I'm realizing how much work we really have to do if we want to turn this into more usable homesteading type land. There's so much overgrowth. But we are finding, I mean, just tons and tons of different plant species. So it's kind of cool to take these plants that we see around our property and we know about and to actually have names to go with them. Pretty cool, huh guys?
Yeah.
Pretty nifty.
Okay, can you get out of here though? I'm getting bit right now.
I don't think we're gonna run into any snakes with your brother whacking around at everything, huh?
I'm about to say, don't call me that because I'm the one holding the machete.
I think we have exhausted the fun for the day. She is passed out, just hanging off back there.
I'm panting.
All right, we're gonna go up to the house, maybe cool off, do our family reading book, try to get some other things done maybe. But I think school for our first week, done deal. Check on our baby chicks and see how they're doing. Hey, turkeys.
I want to hold one.
Ray's looking pretty good.
They're eating the chicken
They love getting out and enjoying the sunshine.
shade.
Oops. The turkeys are getting so big.
So, can I hold one baby chicken?
You just want to hold baby chicks?
I just want to hold
Look at them all down there. So all they do is eat. Eat, eat. 1 week back to school and I'm exhausted. The kids are doing fantastic, but me, I am like more than ready to rest. So, like I said, I like to kind of let our week kind of play out a little bit and see how everybody's feeling, and then sit down and kind of plan our schedule and routine and rhythm, instead of doing it the other way around where I set up a schedule and rhythm of how I want it to go and make everybody fit into that mold. I like to just kind of jump in, start school, see how everybody's doing and how we're kind of checking off the things that we want to get done, and then kind of assess where we need to change. Our first week back to school, Bible, watercolors, Heaven for Kids, all of that is going fantastic for everyone. We are using the Good and the Beautiful for our big kid and teen, which that was the one that I was kind of second guessing myself on when we got started at the beginning of the week. But now that we are a week into it, exactly like we were last year, I shouldn't have been second guessing it. They are loving the Good and the Beautiful. And I'm just using the level, what levels am I using? Level 1 and level 5. I just have the free PDF on my computer. I'm printing off the sheets as they need them. And as far as the level 5, like shared reader and stuff, that's just on the computer. I just have it, the PDF pulled up, and he just gets on there and reads it. I would like to purchase like their actual like printed out course book. One of the things I know I've heard people say is they didn't like the Good and the Beautiful because for them they felt it took too long. I fit everything to our family's needs. I don't do all of the extra like phonics cards and flash things. I don't do any of that. We use the Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons, and that really covered like everything my kids needed to know. I don't make it a big deal with sight words. I don't do any of the stuff like that. We read books, and so they know their words because that's what we do. So I think a lot of the things that I've heard people say that, oh my gosh, it took so long, how do you do it? Well, we don't do any of that extra stuff. We do the course book, it covers everything. The kids truly enjoy it. It's their favorite, so I'm not going to mess with it. So all of that has been just fine. My little, she likes to use the links that I have on our Minimalist Homeschool site, and I will continue to update those for anybody else who wants to use them. Some days she's done it and some days she hasn't. We had, like the other day when I showed you, she did everything and she was loving it. And then the past couple days, she hasn't really been that into it, but she has been into doing other things. So I kind of just let her go with what she wants to do, and the things she doesn't want to, I don't press it. It's not that big of a deal. The only thing that's mandatory is to sit down and listen while we read Bible. Other than that, she can take it or leave it. I don't care because she's still so little. So you're going to hear me anytime I talk about the little kids, read Better Late Than Early by Dr. Raymond and Dorothy Moore. That's what you need to know about any of our kids that are under 7 that you're homeschooling. The only thing that I found that I really didn't think was going to be our problem area has been math. They love to play Prodigy. They don't like the magic that's in it, but they like to play the game. And they do play with each other, so they're like battling each other, and they answer a lot of math problems that way, but I don't know. I feel like something is lacking when it comes to math. So I'm not sure what that's going to be. If you have any math suggestions that you love, I would love to hear about them. We've used separate math curriculums, like, I say that now, I can't remember any of them. But we have used different math curriculums, and I don't know, I feel like math is one of those things where there's the core basic skills that you need to know and you need to know well, you know, like your business math, your real life math that you're actually going to use throughout your life. That's the stuff that I want to be focused on. To me, getting them, you know, up through algebra and, you know, trigonometry and calculus and all of those different things isn't my goal, because you don't use that in real life. You know what I mean? Like, that's not my focus. If you have a kid that's interested in it and they enjoy it and they want to do it, by all means, let them do it. But that's not where I want my focus to be. So trying to find something that really just drills in those real life math skills that you're going to actually need for your whole life is what I want to find and have them working on. And I just can't find exactly what I want. Like, I know in my mind what I'm looking for, but I don't know if it exists. So if you know at all what I'm talking about and know that it does exist, I would love more than anything for you to share that if you would like to. So electives are going good. Every day I just focus on one elective, and then within 30 minutes, an hour, we do it and have fun. I switch between, like Monday we did baking. For us, Tuesday was kind of a wash. We didn't get much of anything done. We just skipped that. Wednesday, we did history, which is just sitting down and reading. Where Thursday then we did a hands-on project with our handicraft, and then today a lot of science. I have like some computer things that we can do, but the weather was so nice outside. Whenever the weather's nice outside, just go outside. There's so much when you're outside that you can spend time making, you know, fun little crafts or projects, learning skills, and doing nature observation, exercising, any of that. So we hiked all around our property and just had a blast looking at the different stuff. So anytime the weather's nice, I will most likely ditch whatever our plan is. I'll either adapt our plan to be something that we can do outdoors, or just completely scratch whatever was originally planned and just get outside and do something. So I usually try to do that anytime, especially this time of year. And it's like here in Western Carolina that fall is coming a little early for us, so we are all kind of giddy to just get outside and enjoy it, because lately it has been hot and humid and we have had major thunderstorms and rain. So as much as we can be outside right now, we're outside. But other than that, I think this weekend I really want to try to kind of look into some math stuff and figure that out. But otherwise, I feel pretty good about it. The kids feel great about it. In all the years we have been homeschooling, and we started when we took our son out of public school in the middle of first grade. He came home at Christmas break and never went back. Ever since then, you know, we've had good times and bad times, and struggling and learning and trying to put it all together, and sometimes where we thought we were doing well, sometimes where we were pushing him too much, and other times when we were just completely failing at it. But this year feels great. The kids feel great. They're happy. They're excited every day. They cannot wait to get started. Later in the afternoon, they're still asking me if there's other school things they can do. My husband and I have both been extremely pleased at just kind of how our family is doing this year. So that part is really exciting, and I am so thankful that God has gotten us to the point this year where things are going like they are. So that is just kind of a really exciting thing, especially knowing you have hard things going on in life. To have something like this that is going so well and feels so good is kind of just like a thank you. So I know I've kind of shared before, and I can link that video down below, but when I have a lot of things to do and can feel very overwhelmed by it, and I really feel like probably all of us are in that boat, especially homeschool mom, multiple kids. All right, we'll try again. So when you have a lot to get done and take care of, so you are homeschooling, your mom, you're keeper of a home, you're a wife, maybe you work from the home or out of the home or whatever it may be. There's a lot to get done, a lot to keep track of, and I don't know about you, but trying to work in disorder just does not work for me. Thus the whole minimalism, you know, starts for me anyways, because I just being a wife and a mom that stays at home and homeschools and runs a business from home, all of the mess and distraction and clutter everywhere just drives me crazy. I cannot work in it, and especially when I'm trying to do a bunch of different things. So this year, I obviously have my husband, I have the 4 children, I am homeschooling the 3 of them, then obviously baby in tow. We have started a family ministry, which has some stuff that we are in the works of, but we also do a podcast and weekly Bible study series on that. So that is one of my, you know, plates there. We still do have our family wedding business. I'm a wedding florist and wedding planner, so that takes up, you know, another set of time for me. And then just we live on 8 acres and have a lot of projects and things that need to be done. Part of what we're kind of moving into for the family ministry is we're now starting to raise chickens and turkeys. So they're tasks that need to be done. We have moved my mother-in-law into an assisted living, but going and spending time with her, it's about 45 minutes round trip, you know, to get up there and back. But to spend time with her and bring her down here to spend time with us, making sure that that fits into everything, and then spending time on the Minimalist Homeschool site, getting those plans written and updated, and blog posts and this YouTube and all of the things that have to be done. So and then to still keep up on housework and things of that nature. So I wanted to sit down and kind of just go over what this rhythm is. Instead of having to work on a bunch of little tasks each day, I like to assign a certain task to each day of the week. And then that makes it so much easier on me, I feel, to just have to focus on that one thing instead of trying to hit a bunch of separate things in one day. So like I sat down and figured out kind of our daily rhythm, and I don't say schedule because it's not rigid, it's always open and fluid to change, but kind of our daily rhythm. So like for us, just for instance, we're usually up about 7 o'clock. I've started, when I get up, I just go straight into my bathroom, wash my face, get dressed, get ready, and then I'm done. I don't have to worry about it. I come out, change the baby's diaper. I've already fed her. When I first wake up, I just feed her, nurse her there in bed, come up, let her play in her jumper for a little bit. The kids make their breakfast, and I go out and get the chickens and turkeys fed and watered and let out into their pen and do all of that stuff that needs to be done. So by 8:30, that's when we're ready for Family Bible. My husband leads that Bible. We sit down at the table with the kids, and then my brothers who live with us, they come up and join in for Bible study with that as well. So we spend kind of some family time there studying, and then after that is over, the kids go and get themselves, you know, dressed and ready. 10 o'clock is about the time we start school. We start school every day with our Bible. The kids, we read a chapter in our Bibles together. The kids go ahead and have their watercolor notebooks that they kind of do some Bible journaling in there. We practice our memory verse, and while they are watercolor painting, I read them out of Heaven for Kids by Randy Alcorn. So that's been working really well. So then by 10:30, and we do make sure that in between each activity we're doing that we just clean up the space we're in. So as soon as we finish with Bible watercolors, put our Bibles away, put all the watercolors away, wipe down the table so it's ready for the next activity. We just try to, if I keep on them, to just make sure that we're picking up between each thing. So we clean up breakfast as soon as breakfast is over. We clean up the table as soon as we're done with that task. And then it just makes it easy. We don't have to worry about it. So by 10:30, we go into kind of our first block where Virginia, our 5-year-old, she sits at the table and plays on the computer and does some like educational games on her own. That gives Lily and I, our nearly 8-year-old, gives her and I one-on-one time to come sit in here on the couch and do her lessons and spelling together. And then that gives Travis, our teenager, time to go. He just goes in his room and does his like independent reading. So then by 11 o'clock, we go into kind of our second block, and that's where Travis, our teenager, needs a little bit of one-on-one time with me to get him started. So him and I do that. Well, Lily moves into doing some of her independent reading and computer stuff off on her own. And then once Travis and I are done, then little Virginia, if she's feeling up to it, her and I sit down and do her studies together. By 11:30, that's when we're in our last block. Pretty much they're all kind of just doing math and stuff at that point, finishing up anything they had left to do, but we're pretty much done. Unless Virginia was really feeling like she wants to do a lot of schoolwork, then her and I are probably still spending a little time together, but for the most part, they're pretty much done by then. That means by noon, we're ready to have lunch. We all sit down together as a family, my husband and I and the kids, and eat lunch, chat and visit, and then that's when I've been doing our one chapter from our family reading book, which right now is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, so we read that all together. And then by about 12:30, when we're done with lunch and we've cleaned up from that, that's when we've just tried to do our electives. So today we were out, you know, looking at leaves, walking around the property. Yesterday we were making the macrame plant hangers, so that's a good time just to kind of dive into that. At that point, I have spent all day with the kids. Their love tanks are completely full. We have had a lot of time together. We've done a lot of things. They are kind of chomping at the bit by this point to just go off and be on their own and do whatever it is that they want to do. So from about 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, that gives me a window to work on what I need to. So I usually hop on the computer and quickly edit together the daily vlog and get that started, exporting and uploading and doing all the stuff that it needs to. And then I'll work on my kind of daily activity that I've assigned for that day of the week. Then by about 5 o'clock, that's usually when I go ahead and do our dinner prep. I've shared with our minimalist menu planning how we do that. I do the monthly grocery shopping, and every day has a meal assigned to it, so we know, what it is, and then I can go ahead and start into that. Try to eat dinner by about 5:30. I hate when we eat too late. I feel like it just messes us all up. So usually about 5:30 is kind of a good time for us. Sometimes once we get further into winter, we even up it a little bit more, and the kids like to go to bed earlier when it gets darker. So 5:30 is a good part for us, especially now. After dinner, I usually like to have the kids just do like their general pick up our room, straighten up around the house. We all have different dominions that we are, the kids are responsible for, and I kind of work alongside of them, kind of move through, just straighten up any last things that we've kind of made a mess with. By 8 o'clock, as long as the kids have tidied up their rooms and whatever stuff around the house, brushed their teeth, gotten jammies on and stuff, we let them have a little bit of tablet time. So if they want, and sometimes they don't even choose it, sometimes they just play in their room with one another, but if they want, they can have their tablets and play for about 30 minutes. By 8:30, we do prayers as a family. I go and tuck the baby into bed, tuck the big kids into bed, and that's it. By 8:30, everyone's in bed. Our teenager usually stays up until about 9 o'clock or so, but he just kind of hangs out in his room for a little bit of quiet time. At 8:30, after we've put everybody in, I go and get my shower, my jammies on, and then that gives my husband and I, from about 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, just some time to hang out together. I spend about 10 minutes going through the kids' notebooks from the day, just checking off everything that they did, leaving them any little notes, and writing down whatever their checklist of tasks for the next school day are going to be. And then my husband and I like to sit down. We're currently watching through the old Dick Van Dyke Show, so we are having a blast doing that. But that gives us some time just to, obviously he's home working with our ministry throughout the day and in his Bible studies and everything that he's doing. But it's kind of nice in the evening just to have some, although we see each other all throughout the day because we do both work out of the home, it's nice to have that evening time of just hanging out, just the two of us. So that's kind of our run through of the day from about 7 o'clock to about 10 o'clock. Any later than 10 o'clock to go to bed, and it's just too late for me. I cannot stay up late. So I've gone ahead, the different areas that I need to focus on, and I've assigned them all to a day. So like Monday, I want to go ahead in that 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock window that I have. I want to dedicate Monday to be able to work more on our family ministry and all the stuff that needs to be done there as far as the website being designed and so much like administrative work that needs to be done for that. So I want to go ahead and designate Monday for that. Tuesday, weather permitting, so obviously some days I might have to adjust, but for the ministry, actually, we have a lot of stuff here on the property that we need to be working on. So Tuesday I would like to designate as our day to get out into the yard and onto the property and working on some of those projects. Wednesday will be dedicated to getting all of the computer work done for my floral wedding business. So I can invoicing, appointments, emails, stuff like that. I'll try to just knock it all out come Wednesday. Thursday will be my day that I would like to dedicate towards the Minimalist Homeschool website. So writing additional plans, adding links to the plans that have already been put up, answering emails, taking care of blog posts, things like that. Try to knock out as much as I can in that 4-hour window on Thursday. And then Friday, I want to be our cleaning day. So we like to do a big Sabbath celebration on Saturday. I've been trying to go and pick up my mother-in-law from the assisted living, bring her down here to the house. We all hang out and rest. I make big loaves of the traditional challah bread. My husband does scripture reading before our dinner. We take communion together and really just have a fun time with everyone. So I want to have time on Friday to just be able to finish up whatever cleaning and kind of just have that whole afternoon to focus on stuff that I need to do inside of the house, getting caught up. I do a load of laundry each day, so little stuff like that I really don't get behind on very much, except for the days when towels and clothes all combine together, and then I have a lot to put away. But that will give me Friday to really just kind of go over everything, get the house good and clean, so that way Saturday for Sabbath, I don't have to worry about anything. Everything's done and taken care of. And then Sunday, that gives me really a day to do any pickup cleaning that we didn't get done, any additional projects out in the yard and on the property that we wanted to do, or if we feel caught up, just have a day to be off again and, you know, not worry about it too much. But I think this feels pretty good. I mean, obviously things change and that's okay, but as far as having a rhythm and routine that's working well for everyone, and every day having just one task that in my afternoon, you know, when I have some open time to just kind of focus on that, I think I'll be getting a lot more done, and I will feel better because I will feel like things are getting accomplished and not being, you know, I start to get overwhelmed when I feel like there's a lot of stuff that needs to be taken care of and I just can't get to it all. But it seems to really kind of ease that feeling when I know that each day has a designated time. So maybe on Sunday I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff for my business that needs to get done. Well, I know Wednesday I have the whole afternoon dedicated to that and nothing else. So I can sit down, have my list together of what needs to get done, and just slam through the whole list and get it knocked out. So that is how we're going to set it up for now. I think it feels really good though. The kids seem to be really happy with it. It works well for my husband, works well for me. Him and I do podcast recordings, basically just as much as stuff comes up, and it only takes an hour's time. So anytime that he's down there and he's like, hey, we need to talk, I have something, I run down there and do that. So some days I might only have 3 hours versus 4 hours in my afternoon block, but that's fine. If I know how much time I have and I have my list of what needs to get done, I mean, I can hustle and get it done. So for me, that works. I know, hearing from you guys, you have some great ways of how you organize and put your stuff together, so you'll have to share it if you have any cool homeschooling hacks, you know, of how you mamas get it all done. But that's just how I do it. Again, I think having one task per day to kind of focus on, you just have to kind of lay out what those priorities are and the things that you know you need to have dedicated time for. You know, obviously there's some little things that I don't even put on the list, because for me I can just do them while I'm doing everything else and it's not that big of a deal. But as far as the bigger items that really do require my time and a larger amount of it, to have them assigned to a day, so then that day that can be my focus. I'm not being distracted by a million different things. I just get it done. I know I'm good to go. I know whatever I don't get done then, the following week I've got the same thing set up, and then every day I can try to tackle the massive amount of stuff that I feel like I am continuously adding to my plate. But apparently I like doing things that way because I keep doing it. So I think that's what we're going to go with. Really praying over the math thing. I've got to figure that out because I don't know what we should do for that. But I think other than trying to figure that part out, I feel like everything else feels good and isn't lacking. That would be the only thing that I'm feeling kind of about. And we've always done like the online Khan Academy and CK12 and really liked it. I don't know. I think the kids are just ready to move. Isn't it weird how from year to year stuff just, not even year to year, sometimes just month to month, you know, stuff just kind of changes. But I feel like they need something else, and I don't know, we'll see what it is. But week 1, good to go. I have kept up with vlogging for our 100 days of homeschool vlog challenge. and I am exhausted. So I am going to go finish up the laundry, pick up a little bit so that I can go to bed early tonight, and tomorrow we can just enjoy our Sabbath day rest and really enjoy just the family time together and getting some time with my mother-in-law, especially after the big news with getting her diagnosis this week. And it's a hard thing explaining to kids, you know. I mean, she's lived with us for the past 2.5 years, so they see things going on with her, but to sit down and actually explain, you know, this is Alzheimer's, this is what it does, this is what will happen, you know, this is Parkinson's disease, this is what it does, this is what will happen, you know, going through those things with them and explaining it. It was hard. It was a lot for them to take. Obviously, it's a lot for my husband, you know, to deal with, seeing everything go down. I mean, it's a lot, and it's very heavy. And, you know, this past weekend we had our biggest wedding of the year. It was so much work, and then starting school, you know, right away now, and then everything just emotionally with grandma. The past 2 weeks have been very, very busy. So I am very excited that it has all gone well, though, but that we are getting ready to come up into our Sabbath, because I will happily take this day of rest that the Lord has given us to set aside for that. So I am very, very excited. I hope you all have had a wonderful week, that you've enjoyed our little series. I've enjoyed so much getting to connect with so many of you on Facebook and Instagram and here on YouTube, and get to just talk to you about the different things and see your comments and stuff. So I appreciate you all. It has been so great. If there's anything at all that we can lift up in prayer for you and your family, please message us and let us know. We'll be very happy to do so. But other than that, I am ready. I'm going to go edit this all together, get it uploaded, pick up my house, and probably go to bed shortly after I get the children to go to bed, because I am exhausted. You guys have a great weekend, and we will see you guys next week.